Good evening, viewers, and thank you for joining us tonight on Hotspot. Yes, the 6th BSP PNG Games are coming up in the next couple of days. The sports team here at EMTV will be down there to witness the opening ceremony all the way to all the games. So if you're in Leh, we'll be there to say hi. So say hi to us too as well. The PNG Olympic Committee have come on board to support the Sports Foundation in sending about 400 technical officials to officiate at the games. We caught up with Team NCD's kickboxing squad. We have a bit on rugby. Jeremy joins us with Team Cook Islands in the Nations Cup, as well as a bit on Medellin Women's Soccer Tournament. And as always, we'll wrap up the show with our weekend draws, but kicking off our show for tonight. For some, it was their first time ever step out onto the 125-meter rugby field under the unbearable Queensland sun, and they surely stepped up to the plate. With Melanie Kawa's wealth of experience and destructive play, accompanied by Captain Amelia Cook's ability to play wide and run the wing, the girls had a good mix of speed and agility, which saw them through to the bowl finals. The girls defeated Cook Islands at Ballymore Stadium 29-0, finishing off this year's tournament as the 2014 Cup winners. The Queensland PNG Rugby Union men, however, weren't as successful in the inaugural year of establishment. Despite the pleasing announcement and recognition of 3 juniors to represent the Puk-Puk's under-20s team and the announcing of Jordan Chichenko to join the junior ACT Brumbies, the boys struggled to secure a win all throughout the 3 weeks of competition, but managed to beat Dreamtime 7-0 in the last game, finishing in 3rd place in the bowl qualifiers. Queensland PNG Rugby Union team manager Kit Ahmed commended both the men and women's efforts in ensuring the successful rollout of Queensland PNG Rugby Union's inaugural year, and promises bigger and better things to come from the Brisbane-based PNG rugby community.
Well, Queensland PNG RU was pretty much an idea that I had 2 years ago when I first heard of the Kings and Queens of Pacific Rugby Union tournament. And over the past 2 years, I've tried to get people on board and just get a understanding of how many rugby union players in Brisbane that are Papua New Guinean and that want to play together. I think everyone, both the men's and women's teams, did awesome this year. I think the biggest highlight for me was probably when the girls scored their first try in the first round of KQPR 2014. For the guys, I think it was the last game against the Indigenous, holding them off to a 7-0 win. On behalf of Queensland PNG RU, I'd like to thank all our sponsors for their support throughout the 2014 rep season here in Brisbane. I hope that we can strengthen our relationship, working together for bigger and better things in 2015.
We'll head out for our first break for tonight. Up next, the PNG Olympic Committee comes on board to support the 6th BSP PNG Games in Leh.
The Olympic Committee and the Games Organizing Committee is not taking these issues lightly.
Welcome back. You're watching Hotspot. With under 9 days to go, the PNG Olympic Committee have come on board to support the Sports Foundation in sending about 400 technical officials to officiate at the Games in Leh. Any sporting code would not be what they are without referees, timekeepers, and marshals. And to ensure that our games are delivered by the best, the PNG Olympic Committee have come on board to support the Sports Foundation with 40,000 kina to send 400 technical officials to lay for the 6th BSP PNG Games.
It's extremely important for us to support, and we did support not only financially but with manpower previously with relation to accreditation, with relation to results. And as we progressed, then the foundation was able to take over those functions with the capacity building that has been going on for quite some time. So I'd like to announce that the Olympic Committee will be supporting the Sports Foundation to the value of 40,000 kina.
With the expense of staging respective national sports events, the concept of the PNG Games have grown over the years. It has been an avenue for homegrown athletes to compete on a national stage with the prospect of being selected to represent our country. And on the same note, the Games are an avenue to expose technical officials to disseminate their knowledge and capacity of respective sporting codes.
Needless to say, the PNG Games, in particular this year, is extremely important to see if there are any more toy whistles out in PNG. If I wear my weightlifting cap on, I believe that there will be 10 provinces participating. We did invite 8 to the annual general meeting last month. 7 showed up, so the weightlifting in this case, we are trying to spread our wings to the provinces.
The PNG Sports Foundation is embarking on fulfilling their strategic objective of achieving sporting excellence, equipping coaches, volunteers, and administrators with necessary skills and training, as well as using sports as a tool for development, and is grateful for the support that they have received from the PNG Olympic Committee.
The money will help to meet the shortfalls that we have in relation to take our technical officials over to lay. And as Sir John highlighted, it's important that the role of the technical officials are very important. When we talk about development of sport, we focus on the athletes, but importantly, it's the technical officials that also make it happen to ensure that the sport grows in the country. And PNG Games is a game that has really prospered over the years.
The BSP PNG Games is also a platform for technical officials to improve their knowledge in the respective 28 sporting codes, and adds to the capacity building that the Sports Foundation is aiming to achieve.
This would be also another opportunity, like when we started off with the grassroots to goal, now go for goal. Our emphasis was on both developing the technical expertise as well as the athletes. And it's important, like I said before, our technical officials are also very important. We want them to also provide pathway for them to achieve the highest result that they can in terms of being one of the best in the world. And I think we have done that already. We've got a few people now that are accredited international technical officials, and the games here, it's also a great opportunity for some of them who will be officiating next year in 2015 to give them a bit of practice.
The success of the biennial event have also caught the eyes of our neighbours, and the Melanesian Spearhead Group Sports Committee have shown interest to witness the 6th BSP PNG Games in Lae this month. New Caledonia and Vanuatu have been nominated to observe the Games, from security, logistical organisation and support to accommodation for all teams and officials.
They have now recognized that PNG Games is one of it's the biggest event in the region in terms of participation. And I guess everyone is looking upon PNG on what the experiences and the challenges we are going through. And because of that, the Melanesian Spearhead Group Sports Committee have expressed interest because of the games. They want to be part of it. They want to be here to witness, to observe what the games is like, what are the capacity that you have, what are the challenges you face, what are the experience they can gain from the games.
And I'm sure all the provincial teams around the country are doing their last-minute preparations. We caught up with Team NCD's kickboxing squad during the week.
All the fighters are new fighters. I have only few fighters did fight for the last PNG Games in Rabaul, the gold medalists. But fighters now from here to Team NCDC down to Lays, I have all the fighters, very new fighters. That's why we've been training for the last 4 months. And then I'm just struggling to make them that they can push on to fight good fighters in Leh and Rabaul and Goroka and Chimbu. We only have one female, Helen. It's only one female. Apart from that, we have 11 fighters. The fighters, all of them are new fighters. They're going to take the ring first time. I have a confidence and believe in them. We have the youngest, we have Sebastian. Sebastian Matthew is I think 15. And I have another 16-year-old fighter. And I have another 17-year-old fighter. At the moment now we are a bit struggling with the levy fees. The boys, most of the boys are unemployed. Most of them are school kids, and we're just struggling to find some sponsors. We haven't get any sponsors yet. Apart from that, the boys are just taking out for their own pockets. So we still have another 1 week to find a sponsor.
And we wish Team NCD all the best in their preparations towards the 6th BSP PNG Games. Don't touch that dial. We'll have more on Hotspot after the break. If you've just joined us, you're watching Hotspot. Jeremy joins us tonight with a bit of Islands rugby in East New Britain, as well as he caught up with Team Cook Islands in the Nations Cup.
Well, I'm here with the head coach for the Cook Islands, Jimmy Katoa, as well as the youngest player in the tournament, and that is Moroa Hamon. Guys, thank you very much for your time. Now, Jimmy, over to you. What was preparation like for the team heading over here to Papua New Guinea?
Yeah, just with preparation, it's been quite difficult. First of all, we had a good bunch of girls that we selected to make themselves available, but then we had problems with players, personal problems, players having personal problems. It was a bit disappointing, especially with the experienced players pulling out late, and then we had to bring in some young players. Obviously, players pulling out allowed young players like Moiro and them to put their hands up and make themselves available for the tour, and that was a plus for the team. But besides that, preparation wasn't the ideal preparation, but you can't really make excuses about it. We're over here, and we, the whole team gave their best throughout the tournament, so that's all we can ask. But besides the preparation, no, not the ideal that we really planned, because we already had the tournament playing well, and then there was some problems just trying to get players together, and then we also had our one of our island games, and a lot of the players pull out because of that, which is quite silly. It should have been international first, but they thought they would come back and try and make themselves available for the national team. Obviously not, because doesn't work like that. You either make a commitment to your local club or to the national team. So we brought the players that we think that made a commitment to the course, and well done on the girls, especially Moiro as a young player. She put her hand up. She was trial out as just an extra player. We usually bring in young players back home to trial, not just to trial, but just to get the hang of it with the national players. So, but she hung in there, and I'm really pleased that she managed, and she got a run against Tonga. So, that's her first cap as well. So I'm really pleased with that, with her effort, and also with the team.
Now, apart from this international match, the next most likely big event in the Pacific will of course be the Pacific Games, which PNG or Port Moresby will host. Mm-hmm. Are you hoping for a lot more improvement from the national team by then?
Yeah, bringing these young players through is now giving us a really good platform to work on. Now, these girls that came on this tour really performed well, and it's going to be a challenge now for the ones that stayed home to get their places back. I mean, these young girls now know that the capacity that they can play at this level, and I think a lot of them has put their hands up, so it's going to make it harder now for the girls that are back home and thinking that they're just going to walk in. So it's really giving us Cook Island football as well a good chance to have a look at players now. You got players that's going to compete, and there's a few players also in New Zealand that's couldn't make themselves available, but that's due to work and university studies and all those personal problems.
Now, as a coach, how have you found the experience over here?
Yeah, I mean, overall the girls really enjoyed everybody's company, not just not just on the field, but also where we stayed, the hotel we stayed at. Everybody's just been, it's a place where everybody just smiles, and it's really good. When we go in the shops, everybody says hello. I wish the whole world was like that. It's really friendly place. Kokopo really welcome the whole. I mean, I hope it's not just our team, but all three teams appreciate the hospitality that's been given to us by Kokopo, and also beautiful stadium, beautiful grounds, nice green. And I know it's a league, but the quality of the field for a league ground is very, very up to that international standard.
Moroa, is this your first time overseas?
Pardon?
Is this your first time overseas?
It was my first time here in PNG. It's a nice place, yes.
Now, how have you found the experience playing for the national team?
It's a really good experience. It's nice to see everyone playing, different levels, and yeah.
Now, back home, back in the Cook Islands, what position do you normally play in?
I usually play striker.
Now, next year's Pacific Games will be coming up. By then, you'll be another year older. Are you hoping to be part of that squad as well?
Yes.
What's one of your favorite subjects back in school?
Maths.
What's the one that you hate the most?
English.
How come?
I don't know, too much reading.
What are some of the favorite things that you like to eat?
Favorite food is pizza. Yeah.
Anything else?
Ice cream.
Do you drink anything?
Water.
Moroa and Jimmy Katoa, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
We'll head out for our final break for tonight. Up next, we'll wrap up the show with our weekend draws.
It was game on for both the Australian under-16 Rabbitohs against the PNG Fuzzy-Wuzzy youngsters under the scorching heat of Sogeri's sun. These young guns really meant business while showing their rugby league skills and techniques. It was fierce as these little ones knew exactly every move it took to stop each opponent from scoring a try. But 10 minutes into first half of the game, the Rabbitohs scored their first try with a successful conversion and leading with 6 points. Still on the first half of the match, the Fuzzy-Wuzzy youngsters, following the Rabbitohs' tracks, scored their first try, equalising the score with a successful conversion, making it 6 points each. With great defence from the Rabbitohs side, their opponent, the Fuzzy-Wuzzy youngsters, remained to their game plan, but unfortunately, South Sydney Rabbitohs took hold of the first half, leading the leaderboard with 12 points to 10 Fuzzy-Wuzzy youngsters at half-time. During half-time, a sack race was displayed to commemorate the Fuzzy-Wuzzy Angels, who carried the Australian soldiers on stretchers in remembrance of the Fuzzy-Wuzzy Day in the history of Papua New Guinea. Straight after the stretcher race, it was all adrenaline and momentum for both teams as the Rabbitohs dragged the Fuzzy Wuzzy youngsters high and dry. The Fuzzy Wuzzy youngsters struggled to catch their breath while chasing up with the Rabbitohs, but the Rabbitohs managed to escape the traps, pocketing another 3 more tries, bringing the team their winning victory of 22 points against the Fuzzy Wuzzy youngsters, locked at 10 points at full time. Present during the match was most favoured and talented Matt King, who led the under-16 Rabbitohs from South Sydney as their team ambassador, who was also present in the crowd with his boys on the field. Rugby enthusiasts flocked around the field to get close and personal with their favourite superstar Matt King to take photos and autographs as the 6'2" giant posed for a photo with his fans.
Yeah, so I started being an ambassador about 12 months ago for these guys. It can be anything from doing a training session with them or having a meal to walking Kokoda and being in Papua New Guinea playing, running water out where they're playing footy. So it's been an amazing experience, and I've never been to PNG, but I've only been here for a short time, 3 days, but I've loved every minute of it. It's been fun.
South Sydney Rabbitohs coach Michael Maguire was impressed with the boys' performance on the field.
Yeah, I thought it was a great game of rugby league to have a lot of their young boys come over from Australia to have an opportunity to play against some Papua New Guinean young men. I thought they played very well. It was played in really good spirits, and it was a tough little game.
The program was closed with presentations from the Fuzzy Wuzzy youngsters to their Australian counterparts with sharing of PNG traditional bilums.
Time has caught up with us, but before we go, just a reminder, if you have any sports stories, please shoot us an email at sports@emtv.com.pg. I know most of you are on Facebook, so please check us out. If you're in Port Moresby, drop by to second floor Garden City and ask for Lorraine, Tara, Afata, Jeremy, Godwin, Mai too as well, and myself, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. Now let's take a look at our weekend draws. Winding down sports competitions in Port Moresby, the Port Moresby Rugby League will enter their preliminary finals this weekend at the Murray Barracks Oval. In game fishing, the Yellowfin competition is on once again this year. The Port Moresby Yacht Club will be hosting the event from Saturday the 23rd to Sunday the 24th of November. Registration forms are now available, with the winner to walk away with a Suzuki Jimny. The competition is sponsored by PNG Motors, Suzuki Marine and Trukai. And in rugby union, nearing the end of the Sevens Invitational, Booker Town will once again host the prestigious Black Orchid Sevens. It will be a clash of the titans as the big guns of Sevens, Kimbe Rebels, will hope to maintain their finals appearances against the Black Orchids' home ground advantage. Another big sporting weekend around the country, and yes, a reminder to all you Ley residents, the 6 PSP PNG Games are to be hosted in Ley. Get out there to everyone and support your provincial team. Until next week, play hard, play safe, and we'll catch you right here on Hotspot.